What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Heroes of Might and Magic 5 Heroes video, review video, going over all the heroes from each faction individually, and then we are going to be doing all the creatures from each faction as well, just to make some nice videos for everybody to be able to check out and find. So please don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know down in the comments what you guys think and who are your favorite and least favorite heroes from every single faction. First up, we got Mr. Grawl here, which is the Hellhound or Cerberus hero. Obviously, much like in um, upcoming factions, as well as the faction video of Haven that we just saw, there are a lot of heroes that are heroes of creatures, much like this one. No starting artifacts. Much like every single other faction, there is a basic skill that every single faction has. Basic gating is Infernos, so we won't really get into that too much. You can feel free to stop this if you want, but it's literally just spawning creatures if you don't already know. But then he already has Advanced Destructive Magic, which is honestly a pretty decently strong start. You're going to have some be able to get some good spells and strong ones early, which can be good, and then the normal adding one attack and defense for every 2 level of the hero for Hellhounds can definitely be pretty solid. It can be helpful. Hellhounds are a pretty okay tier 3 unit, especially to start with. I mean, you're starting with 14 of them, which isn't a huge amount, but like it's pretty good this early in the game. You know, as an actual start, that's not bad at all. Um, and that's it. No other specializations, no other abilities or skills or anything. Just advanced destructive, which again is a pretty solid start. And then obviously a good amount of hellhounds as well to get you going for sure. So I personally enjoy Grawl. I don't play Inferno. I don't like them. Um, but if I do, he's definitely somebody that I look at as a possible hero option. Deleb here is our second one, so she's got a little bit of a mix here. um, but she also starts with a ballista and ammo cart, which is honestly huge. That's going to save you a lot of money and a lot of time as well. And then she starts with already advanced war machines, which is obviously a very good start this early. And her ballista shoots fireballs. So, and that also increases the spell power per every 5 heroes level. So a little bit harder to increase how effective they are, but your ballista can do some massive amount of damage. So her already having that and her starting with them is super nice. That gives you a very solid start. You know, it's almost like an extra creature, weak one, but her having the boosted version of it can definitely be very useful. So Deleb is definitely a strong, good choice at all times, and especially to start as well. She's good. She's definitely one of the higher end Inferno heroes, in my opinion, to go with for sure. Those ballistas are nice. Alistair, a pretty normal mid-army here to start. No artifacts, and then he has basic sorcery and mana regen, which can definitely be super nice with your imps and familiars stealing mana for you. Actually, I think it's the other ones that steal for you. I think the familiars steal from them, so that's my bad. But either way. And then Confusion Spell has additional effect of decreasing target's mana on 1 point for every hero. So, um, that's just kind of iffy. I would say Alistair is definitely not one of the better heroes in general for Inferno, let alone to start with. I think it's just very, you know, his skills essentially one. Every single faction only has a certain number of creatures that even have mana, you know, to be able to cast, which is not a lot. And even so, your confusion spell is just decreasing their mana, which, I mean, it can be nice and useful, to do that, against druids or mages or whoever, pit fiends on the other side as well, to, excuse me, to, lessen their mana, which lessens their casting, which is not bad, but I feel like that is something you can live without and would rather start with a better, more useful hero, because until you face somebody that has that, it's not going to be useful, and then even when you do, there's only a certain number of people that even have that, to where it's not going to be that big of a deal, in my opinion. So I definitely think Alistair's on the lower end of these 8 hero choices, and I would personally not go for that. Again, normal army here for Grok. No artifacts, basic logistics, and pathfinding, which is nice. We have seen this previously from the first Haven hero that we started with, but logistics is always like one of those to where it's always very nice and useful, but some of it definitely depends on the map as well, how much you actually need it. So hero movement points are increased by 5% instantly, and 1% per every 4 level. The cost of teleport is reduced by half. So he can definitely get around, which again is, I think, as we're going to see for a lot of the heroes throughout each faction, is that they have very similar things. A lot of creature heroes, logistics 1, war machine 1. But this one is a little bit different than the other one. This one actually builds the movement points, and then also reduces the cost of teleport, which it can be nice. I mean, don't get me wrong. In general, logistics is always good. I think that, again, somebody like Grok can excel on larger maps, from being able to explore it in general, as well as chase down or run away from people way more effectively than others. So he's definitely not a bad choice at all. I think it's just somebody that you're going to have to build up and build into, compared to some other stronger starts, but he's going to be stronger late game for a lot of different reasons. So it just kind of depends on. Grok is solid, but you have to know that it's going to be he's more of a mid to late game hero than he is starting one. Neberos, we're just going to call him Neb here. Again, solid basic army, basic attack, and then who do we got? Luck of all hero troops is increased by 1. Also, enemy hero cannot use tactics ability in combat. So tactics is useful. I would say like that's just kind of a little nice small fuck you, but not really like a huge deal, the tactics thing. But I think luck is pretty nice. I am surprised that he doesn't start with luck based on that. So it kind of sucks that you're going to have to get luck to then further increase their luck. So that's a little yeah, that's a little disappointing, honestly. I don't use this guy. I don't use Inferno in general, really. So I don't know everybody's stuff as well. But yeah, that's kind of a little frustrating. I mean, obviously having good luck is just good, um, but and you start with tactics, so it's just definitely not terrible at all. Um, but yeah, again, I feel like this is only going to be useful if you get luck. So pretty much this guy is honestly a little useless unless you get luck, in my opinion, for the most part. Yeah, I mean, that's just kind of how he is. Like, until you actually get luck, which is not nowhere near guaranteed a thing, then you're pretty much shit out of luck choosing him. So yeah, definitely on the lower end of who I would choose. Then we have Marbus here. Again, pretty basic army, no artifacts. Basic defense. Let's see, what do we got? All creatures in Hero's army gain 5% magic resistance and plus 1% per hero level. So, a lot of magic resistance and already protection by magic attacks. So he's definitely going to be like, if you're facing a magic based hero, you're pretty much going to be good, especially in the later the game goes. Like, you're not going to be able to do damage to him at all with magic, which not only is good for heroes, but also every single creature that can only cast obviously magic things, Mage Fireball or Fist of Wrath or Pit Fiend Fireball or Druid Lightning Strike. Obviously all of those things would be way more resisted, especially the longer the game goes. So um, he's definitely a strong hero in general. Definitely up there. He might be um, the best or one of the best. And again, even if the hero you're facing um, is not a magic hero or a magic type or chose magical stuff, lots of spells and everything like that, still having um, that resistance, not only for the heroes, because obviously they can still cast no matter what, but also against, pretty much every single um, faction has some form of caster, so being way more resistant to a lot of heroes, to all spells, and to a lot of creatures is super, super strong. And he only gets stronger, so yeah, he's super solid choice. He might be the best choice. Definitely a top one for sure. And then Nymus here. So again, pretty normal army that we're seeing here, no artifacts. Nymus starts with basic luck, and he has increased gating. But look, for me, gating is, one, it's bitch a move, okay? Like, it's just annoying. It's not even good. Two, it is honestly, you have to gate and then wait for your gated people to spawn, and then that's their turn. Their turn is essentially coming alive or being gated, whatever you want to call it, and then they have to go. But also, if you kill everybody else and not the gated creatures, you win anyway. And having something that increases the amount of gated creatures by 1% is not a huge deal. It just really isn't. Magic resistance, it's good. Luck again is good for sure. Can't take that away from him. But and I'm not saying that, if you would increase this percent per hero level, that's going to be, there's definitely a balance to be held there, because if you're doing, 10% per hero level and you're get to level 10, your dude's up 100%, you know. But yeah, 1%, it's not a huge thing. I've never been a fan of Inferno because of gating. It just, yeah, I think Nymus is honestly one of the worst hero choices, because yeah, there's just so much that goes into gating to where it just, for me, it doesn't have enough effectiveness consistently to be worth a faction choice at all, let alone somebody that focuses on gating as the hero. So I would say a big no for Nymus, unless you're much more of a veteran player that likes to play a certain way. Then go for it. And then Jezbeth here starts off with the Succubus. No artifacts. Honestly, I don't think anybody even starts with artifacts. I don't know why I keep doing that. Basic sorcery. Questionable here. I've never been a huge fan of sorcery. I don't feel like it's insanely strong. But boost heroes casting in interval, which is nice. And then, much like we've seen before, this is the Succubus hero, so the Succubus will gain attack and defense per every other level for the hero. So, Succubus are definitely on the third circle regardless of actual skills. Okay, that's pretty dope though. Lots of good skills from her and Succubus, which is nice. But Succubus are not the best. They just can dish out a whole lot of see, when I say they can dish out a whole lot of damage, it's not individual damage, it's group damage, you know, because of the chain hit. She does start with a first aid tent, which can be nice. It's not the most useful, but if you go for war machines, at least you're starting with that already out there, obviously, unless it's destroyed before then. But yeah, so Succubus, I think this is one of the kind of exceptions where it really depends on who and how you want to play. Most creatures overall, it's either a super bad creature that you're going to be buffing, or it's already a good creature that you're just going to make super strong by choosing them. And I say that, but I feel like Succubus is in the middle of that a little bit. So the rest just kind of depending on how you want to play. Obviously, she's going to be very consistently casting and doing good casts as well, and then having a specialization. So a lot of casting and a better creature in general. So Jezbeth definitely not a bad choice, especially if you're going for a magic build. But that is all of the heroes here for Inferno and Heroes of Might and Magic 5. We will be going over every single faction's hero just to go over all of it, and I should have said in the beginning, which I did not, we will be going over all of the creatures as well in an individual per faction video, just to you know, go over everything for everybody, so going over each individual creature um, that you see here. So please don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you guys in the next one.